The National Museum of Ratnapura is one of the national museums of Sri Lanka. It is located in Ratnapura, Sri Lanka, and it was opened on the 13th of May 1988. The museum building is called Ehelepola Walauwa, as it once belonged to Ehelepola Nilame, a courtier of the Kingdom of Kandy, who was the first Adigar, 1811-1814, under the reign King Sri Vikrama Rajasinha, the last king of Sri Lanka, for whom he served as the Disawe, local governor, of Ratnapura. The museum includes exhibits on prehistoric archaeological inventions, natural heritage, geological, anthropological, zoological artifacts and models relating to the Sabaragamuwa Province. The weaponry on display includes Sinhala swords of the late medieval era, including a sword alleged to have belonged to Ehelepola, and a collection of old guns including a Vickers machine gun used during the First World War. The cooking utensils of the region include a tripod pan with 3 moulds for preparing rice flour cakes known as kiri roti. Traditional Kandyan jewellery includes necklaces, bangles, anklets and earrings. The grounds of the museum contain a palaeobiodiversity park, with life-sized animal sculptures of species believed to have existed in the region. Throughout history, Sri Lanka has been known as a land of gems. King Solomon was said to have procured a great ruby for the Queen of Sheba from Serendip, Sri Lanka's former name. Marco Polo, 1293 AD, wrote about the ruby that once graced the ruin Welizia Dagoba at Anuradhapura, a flawless ruby a span long and quite as thick as a man's fist. It is believed that Sinbad's visit to the mountains of Serendip refers to Ratnapura in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has produced 3 of the world's largest blue sapphires, including the Blue Bell of Asia, which adorned the British Crown and holds the world record for any sapphire sold at an auction, as well as the Star of India, displayed at the New York Museum of Natural History. The extinct Ratnapura fauna of Ceylon is a radiation from the Indian shivalik. In it occur a hexaprotodont hippopotamus and a race of Elephas maximus, which is the most recent member of the proboscidae. Since such an association is unknown elsewhere, it has given rise to many explanatory theories. The uranium test of associated fossils of both animals now establishes that this has resulted from redeposition and that the animals were not contemporaneous. This makes less vague the hitherto conjectural views regarding the Earth movements, and the ages of the gem deposits and of the early human lithic artifacts in them. The fossil of the hominid Homopithecus sinhaleus was found along with the fossils of Hexaprotodon sinhaleus, Rhinoceros cagavina, Elephas maximus sinhaleus, Axis ceylonensis, and Rusa unicola, and through the uranium dating method were dated to the same period. The fossils are preserved remains of body parts or traces of ancient organisms. Sri Lanka is a continental island that evolved via unique geological formations, including fossil remains. This island represents many fossils belonging to 3 different geological periods, for instance, the Jurassic period, Miocene period, and Pleistocene epoch. Most of the Pleistocene fossils were found in terrestrial deposits, alluvial, from the Sabaragamuwa basin called Ratnapura fauna. Thus, our investigations focused on documenting samples of fossils gathered, under the project called The Paleo World of Sabaragamuwa Basin Sri Lanka, conducted by Eco-Astronomy Inc., Sri Lanka. Considering the geological timescale, we are looking for reporting samples that approximately belong to the Quaternary period. As we know, the Quaternary period of the Earth's geographic history includes 2 geologic epochs, viz., which are the Pleistocene 2.58 m to 0.0012 m and the Holocene 0.0012 m to present. Both epochs have changed and divided the fauna's equilibrium and humans' cultural phases based on climate and sea level fluctuations that took place during these periods. The Balingoda Man were a prominent and populous group that inhabited parts of Sri Lanka during the late Quaternary period. The earliest evidence of this group dates back 38,000 years, where archaeological sequencing of artifacts has helped paint a detailed timeline of their settlements. With an appearance similar to that of a Neanderthal, a prominent supraorbital ridge, heavy jaw, and thick skull, this species of ancient hominin would have towered over the modern-day occupants of their ancestral home. Thought to be responsible for the Mesolithic era, Balingoda culture, a copious number of artifacts suggesting settlements have been found in the caves surrounding the town of Balingoda. Among the artifacts uncovered from the area was evidence of advanced practices amongst this ancient group. Proof of the Balingoda man's prolific hunting skills was uncovered from sites across the region. Daggers made from sambar antler and hand axes carved from elephant leg bone lay among the commonly uncovered possessions. Along with their tool use and hunting skills, there was also strong evidence that the group regularly used fire, and that they camped out in the company of the domesticated dogs. Geometric microliths, small stone tools used for hunting that date back around 27,000 years, made up part of this arsenal. Along with some sites in Africa, these geometric microliths so far make up the earliest dated record of stones used in this way. Sabaragamuwa dance tradition has its own vanams or dance forms, and among them are the Kovula Vanama, Gajaga Vanama, Arta Guru Garka Vanama, Charadi Vanama and the Anala Vanama. The Sabaragamuwa dance is used in many Shantikramas to banish evil and bring blessings, and is used in Bali and Tovel too. Gods such as Kataragama, Dedamanda and goddess Patini, are invoked in these traditional rituals. A large variety of coins such as Laran, Dambadeni coins and Thangama were in use during the Kandy era. Angutu Masa coin was in use during the Kandy and Kota periods and had a silver finish. It is believed that these hook-shaped coins were brought to Sri Lanka by vendors from Persia. The history of Sri Lanka's jewellery industry is as old as that of its other half, the gem industry. The two industries are indeed two halves of one coin. The Mahavamsa shows that even before the coming of Vijaya, the Yaksha and Naga clans were utilizing the precious metals and minerals produced in the island. Ancient records indicate that there was an active mine, which produced gold in Akaraviyagama during the reign of Dutugamunu in the 2nd century BC. During the 2nd century AD, the Greek astronomer, geographer, Ptolemy made references to the gold found in Sealand Deva, as Sri Lanka was known by the ancient Greeks. The Kasthane is unique to Sri Lanka. It is a dress sword that was popular in both the central Kandy kingdom and the low, coastal areas. Kasthanes found their way to Europe and elsewhere in the 17th and later centuries as highly decorative curios. The weapons are dunna, bow, the magura, the club, the adiatia, a javelin, the kadua, sword, and the thomaraya. The sword included the small shield, the palaha, and the larger shield, the palagaya. The kuntha was used as long spear or bara lansire, and Dutugamunu carried it to battle and used as royal emblem. The beginning of paddy cultivation in Sri Lanka dates back in history between 3,000 years and the 3rd century BC. Mostly paddy field-based rivers or water resources. The governing royal minds of Sri Lanka saw the enriching importance of rice cultivation, which provoked them to build tanks of extraordinary size and numbers to irrigate the mass-scale rice production. At present, much of the human and animal labor is replaced with technology, adding a greater deal of efficiency to the production process.